Today, we're plunging into email marketing and CRM platforms. Specifically, we're putting two really popular options under the microscope. Brevo, you might remember them as Sendinblue and MailerLite.
And we're basing this whole deep dive on the sources you sent over. So we've got excerpts from reviews like Email Tool Tester, Stuart Gold.
Right.
We looked at the actual pricing pages from Brevo and MailerLite themselves.
Yep.
And interestingly, a Reddit discussion thread where real users were hashing out the pros and cons. So everything today comes straight from that material.
Exactly. And our mission is basically to unpack all of that, lay out the features, compare how they charge, weigh the good and the bad, and hopefully help you figure out, based only on these sources, which one might be a better fit for your specific situation. So let's dive in.
Okay, so maybe starting with the overview. Brevo, like you said, used to be Sendinblue, rebranded in 2023.
Yep.
They really position themselves as this all-in-one marketing and CRM suite. The sources suggest they're aiming to be, accessible, affordable for small businesses.
Trying to make multi-channel marketing easy.
Exactly. Easy tools, effortless growth, that kind of thing.
And then there's MailerLite. A bit newer, maybe. Described as very modern, clean, simple.
Yeah, that ease of use thing comes up a lot from MailerLite. Email Tool Tester, one of the reviews we look at, actually gave them their ease of use badge multiple years running.
So clearly a focus there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the sources consistently put both of them forward as like top contenders if you're a small business and you're watching the budget.
Sure.
Okay, so both strong budget options, but where do they start to differ? Let's jump into the features. Maybe start with that first impression. How easy are they really to use day to day?
Well, both get points for having intuitive interfaces, drag and drop editors, that sort of standard stuff now.
For Brevo, the sources mentioned a logically organized dashboard. And it's kind of neat brand setup feature. Apparently, you can pull your colors and logo straight from your website.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, sounds like a time saver. They also mentioned a built-in AI assistant for writing copy and subject lines, and one reviewer called the ability to revert to previous email versions a lifesaver.
Okay, sounds pretty user-friendly. What about MailerLite?
MailerLite seems to push that clean and simple vibe even further. Reviews highlighted a really uncluttered interface, super simple navigation.
Simpler than Brevo.
Well, their visual editor was noted as having more layouts and blocks than Brevo's. And yeah, the Email Tool Tester reviewers specifically argued MailerLite's editor is actually more intuitive overall.
Interesting.
MailerLite also has its own AI features baked in for subject lines and writing assistance.
Any downsides to MailerLite's ease of use?
Just one minor thing mentioned was a slightly rigorous approval process when you first sign up. Might cause a small delay, but the sources actually frame that positively, like it helps keep spammers out, which is good for deliverability down the line.
Makes sense.
And, the final verdict from that Email Tool Tester review, MailerLite won their Ease of Use award outright.
Okay, so maybe a slight edge to MailerLite on pure simplicity, at least according to that source. But sounds like neither is particularly difficult to get started with.
Seems that way.
What about making things look good? Templates? Design options?
Both offer responsive templates, which is pretty much essential now. Brevo has around 50, described as sleek, modern.
Decent number.
Yeah, and editable elements. HTML options are there too. That brand library feature comes up again, saving assets that update across designs as a plus.
What?
But a little quirk noted was that templates used inside automations don't automatically update if you change the main template, which could be a bit annoying.
Ah, okay. And MailerLite.
Steps up the quantity nearly 100 templates, but crucially, that's on the paid plans.
Ah, okay. So the free plan.
No templates on the free plan. 0. According to the sources, you're building from scratch using basic blocks if you're starting free with MailerLite.
Wow. Okay. That's a huge difference, especially if you're not a designer.
Exactly. Brevo seems more generous with template access on its free tier. MailerLite really reserves those polished starting points for paying customers.
Definitely something to keep in mind if you're bootstrapping. All right. What about actually building your list? Forms and landing pages.
Brevo's forms got called surprisingly advanced. You get quite flexible options like letting subscribers pick lists, CAPTCHA, pre-filling fields.
Sounds good.
And an intuitive visual editor for building them.
And MailerLite's forms.
More straightforward, user-friendly, standard stuff pop-ups, embedded forms, paid plans add pre-designed templates, and even some fun stuff like spin-the-wheel gamification.
Okay.
Free users, again, are customizing with basic blocks.
Where's the bigger difference then? Landing pages.
Seems to be, yeah.
Huh.
Brevo does have a landing page builder, but it's only on the higher business and enterprise plans. And even then, one source found it a bit fiddly, said it was hard to get a really professional result easily, especially making it look good on mobile.
Okay, so not Brevo's strongest point, maybe.
Seems not. MailerLite's landing page builder, though, highlighted as a real standout.
Yeah.
Described as incredibly easy to design with. Professional templates available again, on paid plans.
Right.
And it apparently goes further with features embedding videos, quizzes, testimonials, image carousels, things to boost engagement.
Nice.
They even have a new AI generator to help create pages quickly. And a big one, MailerLite lets you build actual websites with SEO features. Brevo doesn't offer that.
Okay, so that's pretty clear. If landing pages or a simple website are core to what you need, MailerLite seems to have a definite edge based on this material.
Yeah, that's the takeaway from the sources for sure.
Got it. Okay, shifting gears. How about managing the people on your list? List management, segmentation, organization.
Brevo offers a pretty robust approach here. Detailed segmentation. You can filter based on email engagement, even web page visits if you install their tracking code.
So, behavioral stuff.
Exactly. Plus, lead scoring to prioritize contacts. And you can create lists automatically through workflows.
Any downsides?
A couple noted were the lack of a direct tagging system, though they say contact attributes can work similarly, and you apparently can't segment directly by country, which seems a bit odd.
Okay. And MailerLite on list management.
Simpler approach. Segmentation based on variables like sign-up source, location, custom fields. They have an interest groups and tags feature, which sounds more like traditional tagging.
But less advanced.
Yeah, the sources say its segmentation is generally more basic than Brevo's. It lacks those behavioral filters like web page visits or email engagement triggers, and no lead scoring mentioned for MailerLite at all.
So if you need really granular segmentation based on what people do, or lead scoring, Brevo sounds more powerful there.
That's what the material suggests, yes.
Right. Automation. This is where things can get really efficient or really complex. How do they stack up?
Brevo got called a powerhouse here.
Okay.
Apparently a very intuitive workflow editor.
Oh.
Lets you build complex stuff, multi-condition automations. You can test them too.
Triggers. What starts these automations?
Loads of triggers. Email engagement, sure, but also website visits using that tracking code. Again, e-commerce activity, even SMS, WhatsApp, and web push notifications.
Wow, okay. Multi-channel.
Exactly. Highlighted as ideal for multi-channel campaigns, especially for online stores. They have specific e-commerce templates, like for abandoned carts.
And crucially,
Brevo includes transactional emails, purchase receipts, password resets, that stuff natively as part of the automation system.
that's a big deal. Okay, MailerLite's automation.
Also, user-friendly visual workflow builder, easy to use for, multi-step sequences based on simpler triggers.
Like,
Opens, clicks, being added to a group, custom fields changing.
Yeah.
But the sources clearly state it's less advanced than Brevo.
no website visit triggers.
No triggers based on website visits or lead scores. E-commerce triggers are more limited, just abandoned checkout and product purchases, basically, and multi-trigger workflows, only on their advanced plan. And the big one, again, you need that separate MailerSend add-on for transactional emails.
Right. Got it.
So the takeaway seems clear. If your automation needs are complex, if you rely on website behavior or need transactional emails built in, Brevo is significantly more capable according to these sources.
MailerLite for simpler, standard sequences. Brevo for the heavy lifting.
Pretty much sums it up, yeah.
Okay. What about CRM, customer relationship management? Does Brevo's all-in-one claim hold up here?
It seems to have a built-in CRM, described as simple but effective, integrates smoothly with the marketing side.
What does it actually do?
You get a clean deal pipeline, apparently user-friendly for managing sales. You can edit columns, add attributes, manage deals. It even has built-in live chat that syncs with the CRM.
Oh, cool.
And you can assign contacts to team members, automate some sales tasks.
Any limitations?
Yeah, a few were noted. Limited to one currency for deals. Reports are basic, often need exporting for detail. And linking contacts to companies manually can be tedious, apparently.
So not a full-blown Salesforce replacement.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Less feature-packed than dedicated CRMs like HubSpot or Pipedrive, but functional, especially for small teams.
And MailerLite's CRM?
Very, very basic, according to the sources. Essentially just contact management. Names, emails, basic details, adding notes, recording history.
No deal pipeline. Sales forecasting.
Nope. Lacks those core CRM features. The sources basically say you'd absolutely need a third-party integration if you need real CRM functionality beyond just storing contacts.
Okay, so if having even a basic integrated CRM is important for tracking leads and sales, Brevo is the clear winner there.
Seems undeniable based on this comparison, yes.
All right, let's switch gears completely. What if you're a creator? Selling digital downloads, maybe a paid newsletter, monetization features.
This is where MailerLite shines, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sources say it makes it pretty simple for creators or authors. You can build basic product pages, take Stripe payments directly,
Nice.
deliver digital files automatically,
Yep.
and even handle recurring payments for paid newsletters.
Okay, that's quite comprehensive for that use case. What about affiliate marketing?
One review noted their stance was a bit confusing.
Yeah.
They seem to ban businesses where affiliate commission is the main income,
Right.
but generally allow using affiliate links within your content. So a bit nuanced.
Okay. And Brevo on monetization.
Interestingly, the sources say Brevo doesn't offer any direct monetization features like that.
Really? None.
Seems like it. Their focus appears much more geared towards traditional business marketing and sales funnels, integrating with e-commerce platforms maybe, but not helping creators sell directly through Brevo itself.
Huh. And affiliate marketing.
Brevo was noted as being generally more relaxed about affiliate marketing usage.
So clear split there. If you're a creator wanting built-in tools to sell, MailerLite's the one.
Yeah, MailerLite definitely wins that round based on the material.
Good to know. How well do they play with others? Integrations. Connecting to tools you already use.
MailerLite lists over 130 integrations. Covers the big ones. Shopify, WooCommerce, Salesforce, HubSpot, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace.
Pretty extensive list.
Yeah. Brevo has fewer listed natively, around 60. More focused maybe on CRM, other email tools, lead gen, plus CMS plugins like WordPress, Wix.
But both connect to Zapier.
Oh yeah, both connect with Zapier, which obviously opens up way more possibilities. But just looking at native integrations, Email Tool Tester felt MailerLite had the broader range.
Okay. Makes sense. Now, the big one, the sometimes controversial topic, deliverability.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Not just delivery getting to the server, but actually landing in the inbox, right? Versus spam or promotions.
Exactly. And it's complex, performance varies. What did the sources say about Brevo's track record?
Well, looking at the Email Tool Tester data specifically, Brevo's performance has been a bit of a roller coaster over the years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, started strong back in 2017, like 84%, dipped in 2018, then had some really good years 2020 to 2022, even hitting over 96% at one point.
Wow, that's high.
It is. But they seem to struggle to keep it that high consistently. It dropped significantly, down to like 67.7% in June 2023.
Ouch.
Yeah. Though it had recovered somewhat, back up to around 88% by January 2024 in their tests.
So variable. And does it differ by provider, like Gmail versus Outlook?
Absolutely. The sources note that.
Yeah.
Gmail deliverability often high, but maybe not always the primary tab. Microsoft, Yahoo, AOL can be much more volatile, sometimes seeing really low inbox placement in these tests.
Okay, so that's one perspective from the testing data, but you mentioned a Reddit thread. Did they have a different take?
They did, and it's quite interesting. One user there basically argued that deliverability tests using these seed lists, like Email Tool Tester uses, well, they call them potentially bogus nowadays.
Bogus. Why?
Because of how sophisticated inbox algorithms have become, especially Gmail and Outlook. Their machine learning is constantly adapting.
So they're saying the email service providers sending IP reputation isn't the main factor anymore.
That was exactly their point. This user-felt deliverability is almost entirely dependent on your own domain reputation. The ESP's shared IP, they argued, has very little influence these days for the big guys.
Huh. That's a really different viewpoint. So test data shows fluctuations for the ESP, but this user says focus on your own sending practices.
Precisely. And it highlights a really important nuance that honestly all the sources agree on, even if implicitly. While the platform plays a role, effective deliverability relies heavily on your actions too.
Like what?
Keeping your list clean, building a positive sender reputation through engagement, sending content people actually want. These were called equally important factors.
And for most people starting out, they'll be on shared IPs with these platforms, right? So other people's behavior could still impact them.
That's the potential risk with shared IPs, yes. The default for both platforms, for smaller senders. If others on your IP send spammy stuff, it can hurt the IP's reputation, which can affect you.
But Brevo offers dedicated IPs.
They do, yeah. For higher volume senders, like over 100,000 emails a month, that gives you much more control over your own sending reputation.
Okay, so deliverability. It's complex. Testing data provides one piece, but the user perspective emphasizes your own responsibility is critical.
Absolutely. The tool helps, but list hygiene and good sending habits are key, regardless of the platform.
Makes total sense. Right, let's pivot to how much these things actually cost. Pricing models, another area where they differ quite a bit. Yeah.
Big difference, yes. Brevo primarily charges based on the number of emails you send.
Or email, okay.
Their free plan is interesting, pretty generous on contacts up to 100,000.
Wow.
But the catch is you're limited to sending only 300 emails per day.
Ah, okay. That's quite restrictive for daily sending.
It is, though the free plan does include marketing automation, the CRM, and support, which is pretty good.
And paid plans.
Paid plans start around $9 a month, and they're priced based on your monthly sending volume, like tiers for 5,000 emails a month, 10,000 emails a month, and so on. No daily limit on paid plans.
Unlimited contacts.
Unlimited contacts kick in once your plan covers sending 20,000 emails per month or more. They also have a pay-as-you-go option and add-ons for removing the Brevo logo or adding more users.
Okay, so Brevo email volume focus. What about MailerLite?
MailerLite uses the more traditional model. They charge based on the number of subscribers you have on your list.
Right, subscriber base.
Their free plan is limited, up to 1,000 subscribers, and you can send up to 12,000 emails per month.
Okay, 12,000 per month versus Brevo's 300 per day. Different limits.
Different limits. And remember those future limitations on MailerLite's free plan: no templates, limited content blocks, fewer landing pages.
Right, right. And paid plans.
Paid plans start from $10 a month, and the price goes up as your subscriber count grows. So maybe $10 for 500 contacts, but jumps to like $139 for 20,000 contacts, for example.
And unlimited emails on paid plans.
Unlimited monthly emails on paid plans, yes. And paying unlocks more features, the templates, unlimited websites, landing pages, dynamic emails, more advanced automation on the higher tier.
And we need to remember the MailerSend add-on for transactional emails is separate, right?
Exactly. Though that add-on does have its own free tier, which is helpful. Oh, and MailerLite offers a 30% discount for nonprofits, which is worth noting.
Okay, so comparing cost is tricky. You really have to model it based on your list size and how often you plan to send emails.
Absolutely. Large list, infrequent emails. Brevo's per email model might save you money. Smaller list, frequent emails. MailerLite subscriber tiers might be better.
You got to do the math for your own situation.
No way around it. It's not a one-size-fits-all comparison.
Okay, great. We've covered a lot of ground features, deliverability angles, pricing differences. How do we sort of synthesize all this? How can you, the listener, figure out which one might be the better fit based purely on what we found in these sources?
All right, so boiling it down, MailerLite really seems to come out looking ideal for, say, solopreneurs, creators, maybe authors.
Why them specifically?
Well, the emphasis on simplicity and ease of use is huge. If you're just starting, or tech isn't your main thing, that's appealing. Plus, those built-in monetization features for selling digital products or newsletters, that's clearly aimed at creators.
Right.
And the subscriber-based pricing starts low if your list is small. That strong landing page builder and the website feature also fit that profile well. The Reddit users' comment about it being good for beginners doing list growth via giveaways totally aligns with this.
Makes sense. And Brevo, who does it seem best suited for?
Brevo looks like the stronger contender for small to medium businesses that need more of an affordable all-in-one solution.
The CRM integration being key.
Exactly. If you need that marketing automation and a functional CRM tightly integrated, Brevo provides that out of the box. Also, having transactional emails included is a big plus, especially for e-commerce or SaaS businesses.
And the advanced automation.
Yeah, if you can leverage those advanced triggers website visits, lead scoring Brevo offers more power there. And maybe, counterintuitively, businesses with larger contact lists, but who email less often, might find Brevo's per email pricing more cost-effective. The reviews pointing it towards service teams in e-commerce make sense given the CRM and integrations.
So different tools really catering to slightly different core needs and user types.
Definitely seems that way. But it's also really important to remember that point from the Reddit user.
Which was?
That you can often fit any platform into pretty much any use case. The absolute most important thing is finding a tool you'll actually use consistently. Trying the free accounts is probably the best advice.
Good point. Did that Reddit thread offer any other quick comparisons?
Yeah, that user summed it up quite bluntly. MailerLite is more of a classic ESP with a better e-com editor. Brevo having a mediocre CRM bolted on.
Huh, okay. Direct feedback there.
Very direct. They also mentioned ConvertKit, which wasn't part of our main comparison, but noted it was tailored more specifically to bloggers, creators, selling digital products, reinforcing that MailerLite is strong there too, but maybe not the only option.
Right. So at the end of the day, the sources really confirmed there's no single best platform here. It really truly depends on your specific business.
Your model, your list size, your sending frequency, your budget.
And what features are absolutely non-negotiable for you? Is it the CRM? Is it advanced automation? Is it those monetization tools? Or is it just dead simple ease of use?
Exactly. It's about finding that alignment between the tool's strengths and your unique priorities.
Well, that brings us towards the end of this deep dive into Brevo versus MailerLite. Unpacking the details like this really shows that success in this space isn't just about picking the trendiest tool, is it?
Not at all. It's about finding the one that's the best fit for where you are now and where you want to go.
It's that strategic thinking, balancing ease of use with the features you actually need, understanding how the pricing works for you, and knowing what's essential versus what's just nice to have.
Precisely. Knowing your own requirements is step one.
So as you listening, think about everything we've discussed, maybe as you go check out those free trials. Here's something to ponder. In a world just full of marketing tools, all promising growth, how much does this specific platform really matter compared to the sheer consistency and quality of your effort? Building real connections, providing actual value to your audience.
That's a great point. And maybe looking forward too, as these platforms inevitably keep evolving, adding more AI features, blurring lines between email, CRM, maybe social, what new possibilities or perhaps new complexities will that introduce for your marketing in the years ahead?
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.